Chapter 6. The Oilskin Packet. We needed the doctor's house speedily, and I knocked on the door. A servant led us into the massive library where the doctor and squire were seated by the fire. The squire was 6 feet in height and was equally broad. His black, thick eyebrows twitched often and gave the impression that he was angered quickly. "Enter, Mr. Dance." "Good evening, Dance." "Good evening, Jim. What brings you here?" Mr. Dance stood at attention and told them the entire story. "Bravo!" The squire, Mr. Trelawney, started pacing up and down excitedly as Mr. Dance finished his story. We were soon riding towards Dr. Livesey's house. "You are a noble man, Dance. As for killing that blind crook accidentally, consider it as staying on a cockroach. So, Jim, do you have the thing those crooks were after?" "Yes, sir," I replied as I gave him the oilskin bundle which he put in his pocket without a second glance. "Let Mr. Dance leave for His Majesty's work while Jim Hawkins stays with us," he proposed to the squire, who agreed. After supper, Mr. Dance was dismissed. "You must have heard of this man, Flint?" "I can say I have." "Blackbeard was a baby when compared to Flint. The Spaniards were so scared of Flint that it made me proud to be an Englishman sometimes." "I've heard of him too." "But did he possess any money?" "Didn't you hear the story?" "What else do you think those crooks are after?" "We shall know soon. If what I have in my pocket is the key to some treasure, do you think it will be a lot of money?" "Of course." "If Jim agrees, we shall open the packet." I gave my consent, and the doctor cut open the stitches of the bundle with his scissors. All it had was a book and a sealed paper. "Let us inspect the book first." The first page had some scraps of writing. One resembled Bill's tattoo mark, and then there were single words that did not mean a thing, apart from short sentences like "Bill Bones, his fancy," "Mr. W. Bones, mate," and "No more rum." "There's not much here," moved on. The next 12 pages were full of strange entries. There was a date mentioned at one end, and the other end of the line had a sum of money, similar to the ones in account books. But instead of writing that explained the records, there were different crosses between the dates and amounts. The records dated as far back as 20 years, and the entries had become more voluminous with time. A wrong grand total greeted our eyes in the end with the words, "Bones, his pile." "I don't understand anything at all." "Contest." "Why, it is crystal clear to me." "This is Flint's account book. The crosses denote the names of ships that the pirates sunk and the towns he robbed." "Absolutely right." "That is why the amounts increase as the man elevated in rank." "Let's open the sealed paper now." We discovered the map of an island now with details of latitude and longitude, as well as names of hills, soundings, and all other details needed to anchor a ship safely upon the island's shores. The island was supposedly 9 miles by 5 miles and was equipped with 2 fine harbors that were landlocked. A hill in the center had been earmarked as the Spyglass. There were 3 cross marks above the map which were made in red ink. 2 were on the north, and 1 was on the island's southwest. "Bulk of treasure here." It was written in red ink. The back of the map featured additional information. "Tall tree, spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the north of north-northeast. Skeleton Island east, southeast, and by east 10 feet. The bar silver is in the north, 10 fathoms south of the Black Crag, with the face on it. The arms are easy found, in the sand bearing east and a quarter north. J.F." I couldn't make head or tail of it, but both the squire and the doctor seemed ecstatic. "I shall set off for Bristol tomorrow. We will have the best ship and reach there in 3 days. We'll also get the best crew in England. Jim Hawkins shall accompany us as cabin boy. You will be the ship's doctor while I shall be admiral. We'll locate the island and find the treasure together, and roll in money after that. There's only one man I'm afraid of, Trelawney. Who is the dog? Name him, sir. You, sir. You cannot keep a secret. Remember that we are not the only men who are aware of the paper. The inn was attacked for the same reason. They will do anything to get hold of these papers, so none of us must be alone. Take Joyce and Hunter with you. Tim and I shall stick together. None of us says a word about this till we have discovered what we are setting out for. Livesey, gravely, my lips are sealed! Chapter 7, Bristol. Dr. Livesey had to leave for London on work, and the squire left for Bristol. I stayed in the hall with Redruth, the gamekeeper, and memorized the map. In my dreams, I had now reached the island already through different routes. I had scaled the mountain, the spyglass 1,000 times. But my dreams were hardly as dangerous as our adventures would be. After some weeks, I received a letter addressed to Dr. Livesey, and these words were written on the envelope: "To be opened in his absence by Redruth or Hawkins." Redruth was a poor reader, so I opened the letter, which stated, "Old Anchor Inn, Bristol, March 1st, 17. Dear Livesey, I am unaware if you are back home or still in London, so I'm sending this to both thee. The ship has been purchased and fitted. She lies anchored and ready to sail. I've named her Hispaniola, as suggested by my old friend Blandley. We can set sail now for the treasure whenever we are free. Blandley has sourced the ship for us, and although some people think that he has overcharged me for it, they all agree that it's a fine ship. I was looking for crew when I met an old sailor called Long John Silver. He has lost a leg serving the country and offered his services as a cook at sea. I have recruited him out of kindness. Long John has helped me source some of the other crew as well, including the mate called Arrow. But he dismissed 2 of the 7 people I had recruited, as he said they were not worthy of being crew. Let Hawkins visit his mother for a night with Redruth escorting him, and then all of you can start for Bristol. J.T. I was terribly excited when I read the letter. The next morning, Redruth and I set off for the Admiral on foot. I was happy to see my mother in good health, and also because the squire had insured the repairs of our inn. Not only was the Admiral repaired and repainted, but the squire had also found my mother, a boy, as a helper, so that she wouldn't suffer in my absence. Redruth and I soon departed for Bristol, and I slept throughout the journey to be awakened by a punch in the ribs. I opened my eyes to view a magnificent building in a city street. Where are we? Bristol informed me. The squire was residing in an inn located way down the docks in order to keep an eye on the work being done on the ship. I saw many ships as we walked to the inn. Sailors sang and hung from high, thin ropes. The smell of tar and salt was something new. I spotted many sailors sporting earrings, curled whiskers, and long ponytails. I was excited about going to sea with pig-tailed sailors to look for a treasure island. There you are. The doctor arrived yesterday from London, too. Our crew is complete now. Bravo, he exclaimed happily. When do we sail, sir? I asked. We sail tomorrow, boy, he replied.